I'm waiting for the train, the subway, they only go home.
That's the Softies touring with Elliott Smith back in 1996. And this is the Softies now. Rose Melberg and Jen Sbragia are back together, having just made their first new album in 24 years, and it's titled The Bed I Made. Here is Jen in Portland and Rose in Vancouver to answer the question, why now?
I said what I said so I wouldn't have to say what I wasn't ready to.
We were ready.
We were ready.
Take a
It
while.
took a
We
long,
waited a long time.
it took a long time.
Yeah, because I know you did little
Life-
reunions here and there
Yeah.
over the years, but nothing like this.
Yeah, well, because we've been best friends for 30 years, so we still see each other and are a part of each other's lives, and we just life got in the way, and we don't live in the same town, and we
Yep.
family and distance and life circumstances and other bands and but we had a tough couple of years, and the songs started to percolate, and Jen had not been playing music for a while, and when she kind of realized like, oh, I really miss music, I need to start making music again, then I thought, what's the greatest gift I could give my best friend is a ticket back into playing music. And I was
Right.
like, I think maybe it's time for another Softies album.
Right.
And we were like, oh my God. We talked about it for years, but it just never seemed like the time. And this time it was.
Very cool. And Jen, what's your take on that? What did you think when she said that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm really glad that we had all those little shows, those Chick Factor shows, those reasons to get back together, to relearn songs. It was a little practice for coming back together again.
Right.
Because relearning everything after 24 years might have been kind of
Right. I got
harder.
you.
So,
Might as well just write new songs.
yeah, it just, it was, just life. We kept not, being exactly meeting up right. And it was really just magic timing, sort of.
But it sounds like from that you always knew that this would happen eventually.
Yeah,
I
think
did.
so.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
It was never
We
like
never broke
now,
up.
Yeah.
Right.
Now we're too old, or like now, I never.
No such thing.
Yeah.
All right. So did you write all the songs before going into the studio? What's your process as far as, getting ready to record? Was everything set, or do you kind of do it all at the same time?
Well, we started with a few ideas. We kind of chunked away at it. I had a few songs that had just been floating around in my head for a while, and that I knew were probably meant to be Softie songs. And then Jen came up for this kind of magical weekend where we just hold ourselves up in this room, and she had like lots of riffs and little guitar ideas, and I had lots of lyrics, but I also had other fully formed songs. And over the course of like 3 days, we started the guts of maybe 8 songs.
Yeah.
And then that really made us feel like the momentum, it took that to really start the momentum.
Okay.
Not all the songs turned out as what we thought they would be, and not all of them made it onto the album, but it took having that like intense 3 days of just fucking around. Oh, sorry. Messing around on our guitars. I don't know what your rules are in New Zealand.
No rules here.
Oh, yay!
Of
of really just being the Softies again.
Yeah.
Me playing some chords and Jen playing, noodling around on it, and me going, ooh, that.
Uh-huh.
And then, getting one line of an idea, and then 4 hours later, the whole song just would come to me. All the lyrics would come to me. And so it was like we just jumped in and just started to, with no filter, just start to write like the Softies again, like just ideas. anything can be a song, because that's kind of always the way it's been with us. Anything can be a song. There's no rules. It can be 1 minute long. It
Yep.
can have one part. It can have 4 parts. Like it doesn't have to have any structure. And that's the beautiful thing about the Softies, is that you could just write one sentence and that's a song.
Yes,
for
well,
the
I notice you have headphones, which is 12 words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that song had a very funny name in our original notes. Before it had lyrics, Jen was like, I've been playing this little riff. And we called it Hippie Jam. Because it was this kind of little bit of a jangly hippie jam kind of vibe, almost like a mandolin kind of sound, the way she was playing it. So I said, I really like that little progression. Let me see what I can do with that. And so I just had to record, a couple bars of it. And then I was like, I feel like that's just all it is this little Jen jam. And then I wrote 2 extra guitar parts on top of it. And then I was like, wow, it has so much instrumental depth because it has 3 different guitar parts. Maybe there's just one story. Maybe it's just this one line that just popped into my head.
Right.
And I was like, I don't think it needs anything else. I think that's the story.
I love it. So you have a couple of videos out. One for I Said What I Said. So why did you kind of choose that to kind of reintroduce yourself to the greater masses?
Maybe I said it was enough. How could I know how to fall out of love? I tried to hold on. I did what I could when nothing made sense and nothing felt good.
I mean, we've never done a video before.
Oh, really?
In 30 years of bands, we'd never shot a video. In 30 years, I've never really shot a real video ever.
Right.
At all. So it was very unfamiliar territory. It was a bit excruciating. But it was just kind of a concept of pushing outside of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
And also like making our label happy. We love our new label and we really wanted to give them things to work with. And we just thought, like, let's try and do this weird thing and see if we like it. I don't know if I liked it very much. At least we did it. I thought it was very brave.
Right.
So, and that song really was a favorite. It has a lot of moments that really captured a lot of the spirit behind the whole album. There's some absolute stunner Jen moments on her guitar that just, and a little bit of 3-part harmony and a little bit of dynamics and a bridge. And like, it kind of felt like this is the song that really captures where we are right now. And when we were writing these songs over those couple of months. And so we thought this would be a good first single. And it's also a song that tells both of our stories in a way. It was kind of like we've had these parallel experiences in our lives at different times. And so I was trying to write a story that was very much my own and also Jen's at the same time. So I feel like we have this emotional equal ownership to that song. And then the video itself was very much filmed as a story about our friendship.
Right.
And which is at the core of this band. And so it seemed like the spirit of it was all there, even though making a video was really hard and kind of uncomfortable. The spirit of it was very much, this is me and Jen. This is who we are. This is who we are to each other. This is what we're doing right now. This is us at our best. This is us with clean hair, a little bit of makeup, and us playing a song that we're really proud of.
Cool.
Yeah.
You want to add to that, Jen?
No, I mean,
No.
that's
Okay. Just
yeah,
making sure.
perfectly.
Thanks, Jen.
But
Yeah,
I did notice that the next video you did is an animated thing. So.
For the night I drove away from you in a rented Chevy Malibu. 3 a.m. empty lanes, just chalk this up to growing pains. You were kind and fair. You can't fake feelings that aren't there.
I'm much more comfortable with that. Yeah, and that one is such a joy because we just shared stories with the animator about what it was like touring in the old days. Back in 95. Our first tour would have been our first tour was in 94, actually. So it's a lot of little things that really are at the core of how we started.
Right.
And so it captures a lot in that little video. Plus it's kind of magical and imaginative and ridiculous, which is very much who we are.
Okay. You toured with Elliott Smith at one point, right?
We did.
Yeah, that must have been something.
That was 96.
96, yeah.
We had a van for that, not a Geo Metro.
No, it was us and Elliott in a minivan together for 6 weeks.
Man.
It was amazing seeing him play every night.
Right.
But I always think that we drove him a little crazy. We're very silly.
I see. All right. And
there were times where I thought maybe we were a bit much with our silliness, but he was also very silly. He was a very silly guy, very funny and silly, and so we did appreciate each other in that way. For me, it was a really magical experience because I had so much love and respect for Elliott, and getting to play with him, getting to sing with him, like those were. It was very formative.
Yeah. Now you guys did a gig in Glasgow recently.
We did.
What was that like?
Just a couple weeks ago.
Wonderful,
ahead,
amazing, beautiful. So much love.
Yeah.
So many cool people. So many old school Scottish bands that are legendary.
Yeah.
And just young people, and it was what a time.
Yeah. What a magical place.
Yeah.
I just spoke to a Scottish musician 2 days ago. He's got a record out. Hamish Hawke. Do you know who he is?
Oh, no, I don't.
He's kind of got a voice like Morrissey meets Jarvis Cocker kind of thing with a little bit of Scott Walker thrown in.
Okay.
He's pretty good.
Some bravado.
So why did you go to Scotland to do the one show and then boom back?
Oh, well, it was the one festival that I really wanted to do, and it happened for us, and so that was wonderful. And what were you going to say?
Well, it was another one of those situations where I just love making Jen's dreams come true.
Right.
And Jen, when they announced it last year, Jen was like, "Man, why can't we play Glasgow's Pop?" And I was like, "I bet we could, Jen. I bet we could."
Yep.
And so I wrote to our friend Kenji, who organizes it. And he said yes. And then I wrote to Jen. I was like, "Jen, I did it. We're playing Glasgow's Pop. You got your wish." It was my gift. Again, I love bestowing opportunities upon Jen.
Okay. So what do you got planned
it's my responsibility as her best friend.
I think your next gig is on release day, right? In Vancouver?
Yeah.
So is it just the two of you when you play? I assume it is because that's kind of what the record is. Yeah.
Yeah, always.
Yeah. And do the songs take different shapes? Do they change at all, or do you kind of stick to what you lay down? No.
No, the songs are the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of wiggle room with the Softies songs because of the economy. There's small songs.
Yep.
It's not complicated arrangements. It's not complicated instrumentation. It's just us being there together, present with the songs.
Yep.
And it goes by kind of quickly sometimes because we're not stretching it out, and we just, we
don't jam.
We played our longest set ever in Scotland. We
Right.
played for a full hour.
Right. Oh, okay.
Which we'd never done before, and that was 21 songs.
Yeah, because I see you got 14 songs in about 32 minutes on this record.
Yeah.
What is it about the 14 song per album thing? Was that calculated or did it just happen?
It's the number that I like. It's because 12 isn't enough and 13 is not lucky.
Okay.
And 14 is reasonable.
Right.
And I like the symmetry / asymmetry of, I love that it's equal 7 songs on each side, and that 7 is an odd number and 14 is an even. Like, it's just kind of this, it's always been the number. It's the best number for an album, I think.
All right.
Because 12 songs sometimes isn't enough songs to truly tell the story of your band.
Gotcha.
Or 12 just never seems like enough. There's always something missing. And so, but 13 would be we're both Libras. I need equal amounts of songs on each side.
Okay,
So,
fair enough. Very good.
It's always been the formula.
So has audiences changed over the years from when you were playing in the early 90s to here and now?
I feel like people who come to see us now are paying attention more.
Right.
Because back when we started, we were, it was like, what is this weird duo? Huh? Like a curiosity. So it's a little bit different now, I think.
It's true.
Yeah.
A lot more intention with our audience. I think more people coming specifically to see us. And, but a really wonderful mix of young and older people. Well, maybe more glasses and bald heads.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Fair enough.
But it's cool. We've had 24 years to build up a new group of people that appreciate what we do. And it's really fun that it's not just the same folks. It's new folks.
Cool.
Old,
Right.
young. We love it.
And the category, the genre that you've been attached with is called Twee Pop. Were you comfortable with that?
No.
No, I can see that.
It's not a word that I've ever used for myself.
Yep.
It was really something that came about on its own. That is, it's just not a word that we relate to.
Right.
It's always felt a little bit derogatory and quite sexist and reductive.
Right.
And but to some people it means something else.
Sure.
To some people, especially younger people, it is a genre. It's just another word to describe a sound, and I want to give them that. But for myself, it's not a word that really resonates with me, nor anything that we ever labeled ourselves with. We were just an indie pop band and with punk roots.
Yep.
And there are bands that, people want to associate us with, that it's great. There are bands that people want to associate us with where I'm like, I don't know, that's not really my jam.
Yep.
But it's not for me to control how other people perceive what we do. But as far as my own relationship to that word, it's not one that I'm entirely comfortable with.
Yep. It does have other connotations.
But, I'm not going to be a word cop. Everybody's,
Did you feel, you mentioned punk rock, did you feel an affinity with the Riot Grrrl movement? Because that was happening kind of at the same time that you guys were in the same
Absolutely.
place almost, yeah?
We came up with those people. These were my friends. Did you know that I am the current touring guitar player for Bratmobile?
No, I did not.
I am.
Excellent. All right.
For the last year and a half, I've been their touring guitar player.
And we just had
so
Slater
we go way
Kenny
back
here
with
a few weeks ago. Slater Kenny was here, so there's
cool. Yeah, we knew those folks back then. We played shows with those bands and knew them, and they were our peers.
Yeah.
We were all coming from the same place of, empowerment and doing our own thing without rules and creating new genres and questioning the status quo. And, we were politically, we all came from punk and third wave feminism. And, musically we took different paths, but we all came from that.
Yep.
Women in our scene. And I met Jen because she was a Tiger Trap fan, and Tiger Trap was my more punk band.
Right.
That started with it, at the same time, and with the support of Allison from Bratmobile and other people in that community. And I played with, we played with Bikini Kill. We played with all those bands. And so, and Jen getting into Riot Grrrl is what brought her to me. And so we come from that. That is our foundation.
Right. And of course, the whole Jen, you're in the States. And of course, politically, it hasn't been a good couple of years for women's rights and all that stuff. And maybe it's going to change in the next few months. Who knows? But it's kind of scary. So there's still a lot of work to be done, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also just as we're not 25 anymore or 22 anymore. And to us, there's an inherent political nature to us as middle-aged women continuing to create and be public and have a voice, that in itself is really important to us. Challenging ideas of who's allowed to be on stage or whose voice matters, who gets to talk to people in New Zealand, things like that. So that is, to us, still a part of why we do what we do.
Gotcha. Yeah. All righty. Very good. Well, hopefully we'll get to see you in New Zealand at some point. Everybody keeps saying they want to come here, but they rarely manage to. I imagine it's logistical and financial and all those reasons.
It's true. It's mostly financial. Like, time and money.
Yep.
Time and money.
All right.
But I come, from a very young age, music from New Zealand was highly, highly influential on
I thought
me.
it should. I was going to mention that because just hearing what you guys were doing with Little Jangle and all that kind of fit in with the Flying Nun thing and the Dunedin
that
sound
was
and all that.
That was early on, from the late 80s on. Like, I was deeply entrenched. The Chills, I mean, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Dear sweet, I was devastated. We were in Scotland when we got the news. I mean, I can pinpoint songs in my moments in my own songs that were inspired by listening to a Chills song or a Bat song or Look Blue Go Purple. Like, there's a Tiger Trap song where I took a vocal thing right from the Look Blue Go Purple song.
I love it.
In 1991. Like, this was absolutely foundational to me as a songwriter. And, so visiting, it would be a bit of a pilgrimage, as it is with many musicians of my generation. But one of these days.
If you enjoyed this episode of the 13th Floor's Music Talk series, please be sure to subscribe to the website or to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram and wherever you find your podcasts. There's a whole lot more to discover.